Hi guys, this is Selena. I hope you're well. So welcome back to my channel, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm Selena and I make crochet videos that I release every week, and the free patterns are always downloadable on my blog. So today I'm really excited because I'm bringing to you a project I've been working on for quite a while. So it's a gorgeous, very simple sweater jumper. So it's really cute, it's really gorgeous, I love it, and it's super easy to make. So that was my aim, was to design a jumper that would be really easy to make and beginner friendly. So it's a normal jumper in as much as it's not a cropped jumper, so to speak, but it's not an extra long jumper. So if you prefer your jumpers a bit longer, you could make a few extra rows, or if you would like it slightly more cropped, you could skip a few rows, but it's like a regular sized sweater. And the free pattern is on my blog, selenaveronique.com. As always, you can download it for free, and the pattern is in sizes S, M and L. So this one I've made in a size S, and it's an equivalent to a size 8 to 10 in England. In the UK, so it's like a regular S, and then there's the M size and the L size too. I made it with a gorgeous yarn that I absolutely adore. It's Stylecraft Special Aran. And yes, so also it's a really budget friendly jumper, because sometimes I know that for big projects, it can be sometimes a bit pricey to buy all the yarn, etc., if it's a really expensive yarn. So this yarn is really budget friendly. I can't remember how much it cost, but it's not expensive. And for my jumper in an S, I needed 4 balls of this yarn in Aran weight. You can use any colour. This is shade Lipstick, which, as you know, I absolutely adore, because I've already used this shade and this yarn in my other project for my cardigan that I made a few months ago, and I absolutely fell in love with this shade. So yes, you will also need a 5mm crochet hook, a tapestry needle, and also a pair of scissors. There will be plenty of pictures on my blog, so feel free to check that out, and don't forget to subscribe if you like this video and if you want more crochet videos. I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate you watching this video. So yeah, don't forget to put a thumbs up if you like it. I will be speaking in US terms. And yes, without further ado, I'll just jump right into this tutorial. So just to explain briefly, this pattern is we're going to make first the front panel, then the back panel, and then we're going to make 2 identical sleeves, which we will be sewing on. Well, we'll be sewing the whole jumper together. And we will be starting by the bottom of the sweater. So for this video, I've already made parts of my sweater, but I will be doing a step-by-step on how to do those parts. I have chosen shade Saffron in, again, Stylecraft Special Aran, and this is the front panel that I've begun. I'm going to show you how to make this front panel, and then the sleeves and everything step by step. So I will be making a size S for this video. If you are an M or an L, just download my pattern and it will be written on my pattern just how many more chains you need to chain, etc, etc, and how many rows you need to make your size sweater. So this will be for a size S. And so to show you how to make the front panel, I am going to be using again Stylecraft in lipstick. So to make this sweatshirt, you will be making a slip knot. So just go ahead and make your slip knot. Pop your hook through that slip knot, and what you will be doing is chaining 65 plus 3 for your front panel. It will be the same for the back panel, obviously, because it's symmetrical. So just go ahead and chain 65 plus 3. I will be chaining less because I'm just going to make a small sample to show you how to do that pattern, the front panel. Yes, and once I've showed you how to make the pattern, you can just go ahead and make all your rows, and then I'll get back to you just to show you how to finish off the front panel. So basically just chain 65 plus 3, and I will be chaining less. 1, 2, 3. So I've just chained for a sample, a small sample, and once you've done your 65 plus 3, what you will be doing is a double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook. So you will be counting 1, 2, 3, and 4. And in that 4th chain from the hook, you will be placing a double crochet. So just go ahead and yarn over, pop your hook through that loop, take your yarn, pull it through. You've got 3 loops on your hook. Take your yarn, pull through 2 loops and pull through 2 loops. And this is a double crochet, and your first 3 chains here counts also as a double crochet. And what you're going to do is in the next chain space you will be making a double crochet 2. So just go ahead, wrap your yarn around and make your double crochet. And again, just wrap your yarn around, place your double crochet into the next stitch, and into the next stitch just place a double crochet. And it's a very repetitive pattern. What you will be doing is placing a double crochet into each and every stitch along until the end of your chain, and you will have 66 double crochets at the end of your row. I'm just going to finish this, so just go ahead and place all your double crochets until the end of your row. So here we go, I've just finished row 1, and your jumper will be, of course, a lot bigger. So basically this is row 1. So to do row 2, you're just going to chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. So to do row 2, you are just going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, turn your work, and it's very simple. You're just going to place a double crochet on top of every single double crochet from the previous row. So as you can tell, it's a very, very, very easy sweatshirt pattern. So basically here we have the first chain 3 counts as our first double crochet, which is here. So you're just gonna go directly in, you're just gonna go into the second double crochet right here and do a double crochet. So wrap your yarn around and go into that to make your double crochet, because your chain 3 right here counts as a double crochet. And you're just going to do that, go into the next double crochet from the previous row and place a double crochet. And if you need more help, on how to double crochet, just go, I've linked in the description box my video on how to double crochet. Yes, so just click on that or just rewind the video, but basically you're just going to double crochet into each and every double crochet from the previous row. So I'm just gonna finish my row and then show you how to do the next row. So here we go, I'm almost finished. There we go. And the last stitch will be going into here, which is the chain 3 from the previous row. So it doesn't really look like a double crochet. However, it does count as a double crochet. So just go ahead and place your double crochet into that. There we go. And you have your first row of, your second row, sorry, of this sweatshirt. So to do row 3, it's exactly the same as row 2. You're just going to chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, turn your work, and you're just again going to place a double crochet into each and every stitch along. So I'll just, there we go. So this counts as your first double crochet. So you're just going to place a double crochet into the second stitch. And just carry on doing that until the end of your row. So basically, just do this until you reach row 26. So I'm just gonna, there we go, and I'll show you what I've done. So this is the one that I'm making at the moment. There we go, like I said, in shade Saffron. So I've already done my 26 rows of double crochets. So just go ahead and make your 26 rows of double crochets. And to make sure, if you're hesitant about your straight edges and the exact number of stitches that you have, just count after each row that you have 66 double crochets and you'll be good to go. So I'm back and I've just finished my 26 rows from my sweatshirt, and I'm just going to show you how to make the neck and shoulder part. So basically it's just very easy. So for this row, which is row 27, you are going to be chaining 3, 1, 2, 3, and this counts as a double crochet. You are going to turn your work. Now we are going to be placing 20 more double crochets along this row. So basically this counts as your first double crochet. We will be placing 20 more, so that means we will be having 21 double crochets in total. So as always, you've chained 3, it counts as a double crochet. So just place your next double crochet into this stitch right here, which is the second stitch along. So just place your double crochet and a double crochet into the next stitch. And into the next stitch. And just carry on until you have 21 double crochets in total. So I've just finished my 21 stitches. So what we're going to do next is chain 3 for the next row. Just chain 3 as always. It's very repetitive, which is a really great sweater to make. And as always, this counts as our first double crochet, and you're just going to place a double crochet into the second one right here, second stitch, and you're going to place a double crochet into each and every stitch until the end of the row. And basically you're going to be doing this, these 21 stitches, well, this row, until you have until row 31. So basically you will have 5 rows in total of these 21 stitches, if that makes sense. So this is the first row, we're doing that second row, and then you're going to have another 3, 1, 2, 3. And once you reach row 31 of this sweatshirt, you will be, I'll show you what to do. So I've just finished row 31, which is the last row of this sweatshirt on that side, on the right side. And what I'm going to do is to finish off, I'm just going to snip off the yarn, but I will be leaving a bit of a tail to sew in the shoulders later on. It just saves, you know, yeah, it's just better, so it's just easier. So I'm just going to snip off the yarn here, and I'm just going to pull it through that loop right here, that last loop. There we go. Pull it tight. There we go, and we've done this side. So what we want to do now is obviously have the same thing on the other side. So what we're going to do is, I'm just going to show you, we're just going to take our yarn right here, and we're going to attach it right here on the third chain right here. So just what I do is I just pop my hook through here on that stitch, and just pull your yarn through right here and tie a knot. So I just double tie it just to be on the safe side. There we go. I'm just going to zoom in for the rest. Okay, there we go. So there we go. So just what I'm going to do now is just pop my hook through, take my yarn, pull it through, and chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, and this counts as our first double crochet. Turn your work, and what we're going to do is the exact same thing as on the other side. I will be tying in my loose end as I go. So what I do is I just put my loose end like that on top of my stitches and just work my loose end into my stitches as I go. It just saves some work later on. So we've just done 1 double crochet here, and we want to have 20 more double crochets. So we're just going to yarn over and pop our hook through into the second stitch, because the first 3 chain counts as a double crochet, and just make your double crochet and just double crochet all the way along until you have 20 more double crochets, and therefore 21 double crochets in total, because this chain 3 counts as a double crochet as always. So just carry on until you have 21 stitches in total, just like on the other side, and just repeat what we did on the other side. After 21 stitches, just chain 3, turn your work, and repeat this row until row 31. And if you need more help, just rewind the video and look at what we did for the other side, and I'll just carry on doing this front panel, and then I'll show you how to do the back panel. Okay, so I've just finished my my front panel, and this is what it looks like. So yeah, so this is the front panel of our sweatshirt jumper. So this is what it should look like. So you should have 31 rows if you're doing a size S. If you're doing another size, again, it will be written on the PDF pattern that you can download from my blog. So this is the front, and I'm going to just show you now how to do the back panel. So to do the back panel, it's really easy. I'm just going to explain it. So I've already done my back panel, as you can see. So basically it's just the exact same as your front panel. So what you're going to do is do the same thing. So just rewind the video to the beginning and look at how we did the front panel, or just do like chain 65 plus 3 and just do the exact same as what we did until row 29. So basically you're just going to repeat that straight row until row 29. So if you remember correctly, in the front panel we did that until row 26, and then we did the rest. Yeah, we did row 27 to 31 was different. However, this is going to be the same, so just do that stitch until row 29, and then once you've reached row 29, you're going to do the exact same as what we did, except just for 2 rows. So just chain 3 right here, go up to the 21st stitch, chain 3, and just do it again. So you'll just have 2 shorter rows right here for the back panel, if that makes any sense. Attach your yarn to the other side and make those 2 rows like I showed you. So this is how you make the back panel. So basically I'll just let you make the back panel and then I'll show you how to do the sleeves. So I've just made one sleeve. I'm going to make another one with you just to show you how to do it. So this is what it looks like. So I've already made one because obviously you need 2 sleeves. So you will be making 2. So basically, as you can see, then once we fold it over to sew it, this is the shape that it will have. So it tapers at the end like that, from about the middle until the end, so that it gives it that lovely kind of bell shaped sleeve. So basically this is what it will look like, and I'll just walk you through how to do it. So what we're going to do, so I've made one for my saffron jumper, and I'll just show you how to make it with my lipstick shade. Yes, I keep switching back from one to the other shade. So basically, to make the sleeves, you are going to be chaining 47. Again, I'm only going to make a small sample for now until we reach the moment where we will be decreasing. And do is chain 47, and we're just going to do the exact same as what we've been previously doing. So I'm going to be very brief. So chain 47 and double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, you're just going to double crochet like this and into the next stitch and the next stitch and the next one until the end of the row. And what we're going to do So once you've reached the end of your row, I've only got a small sample here, we're just going to do the exact same as what we've done already. Chain 3 and double crochet into every single double crochet from the previous row. So just go ahead and do that. And we are going to be doing... Let me just check my notes. So just carry on doing this until the end of this row, and we will be doing this for 10 rows. So here we go. I've made my 10 rows of double crochets. So for row 11, you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, turn your work, and this is what we call a decrease row. So it's quite easy and straightforward. You are just going to be decreasing at the beginning and the end of each row. So basically into the next stitches. So we're going to do one decrease at the beginning and the end of this row. So to decrease, you are going to wrap your yarn around, pop it through the next stitch. So that's the second stitch. I'll just show you. So to decrease, it's very easy. So to make the decrease stitch at the beginning of our row after our chain 3, which counts as a double crochet, we're going to wrap our yarn around our hook, go into the second stitch, take your yarn, pull it through. We've got 3 loops on our hook, but we're not going to finish that double crochet. What we are going to be doing is going directly into the third stitch right here, pull our yarn through again. We've got 4 loops on our hook, so 4 loops. Take your yarn, pull through 2 loops, and take your yarn and pull through 3 loops. And this creates a decrease stitch, which is basically we're changing 2 stitches into 1 stitch for the purpose of decreasing. And now we're just going to pop a double crochet into every stitch like we usually do until the last 3 stitches. So just carry on doing your double crochets until the last 3 stitches, and I'll show you what to do then. So I've done all my double crochets and I've got 3 stitches left, and we're just gonna decrease at the end of this row, so in these 2 next stitches. So just wrap your yarn around your hook, pop your hook through that stitch, take your yarn, pull it through. You've got 3 loops on your hook. You're not going to finish this stitch. You are just going to go directly into the next stitch, pull up a loop. You've got 4 loops on your hook. Take your yarn, pull through 2 loops, and take your yarn and pull through the 3 loops. And that's your decrease stitch for this end of row. And in the last stitch, so that's the chain 3 from the previous row, you're just going to place a regular double crochet. So just go ahead and place a double crochet. For the next row, which is also a decrease row, you are going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. This counts as a double crochet, turn your work. And we are going to be decreasing in the 12th row too. So I'm just going to show you how to do that. So to decrease, you are going to be again doing the exact same. Wrap your yarn around, go into the next stitch, take your yarn, pull it through. You've got 3 loops on your hook. And I'm just going to try and zoom. There we go. And just pop your hook through directly again. Take your yarn. You've got 4 loops on your hook. Take your yarn, pull through 2 loops. Take your yarn, pull through the remaining 3 loops. And this is your decrease stitch. And you are just going to again place a double crochet into each and every stitch until the last 3 stitches of this row. So I've just reached the last 3 stitches of this row. So we're going to decrease again. We're going to wrap our yarn around the hook, go into that stitch, take your yarn, pull it through. You've got 3 loops on your hook. and go directly into the next stitch. Take your yarn, pull it through. You've got 4 loops on your hook. Take your yarn, pull it through 2 loops. Take your yarn, pull through 3 loops. And this is another decrease stitch. And then what we're going to do is just place a double crochet into the last double crochet from this row, which happens to be the chain 3 space from the chain 3, sorry, from the previous row. So just place your double crochet in that. And there we go. We've just I'll just de-zoom a bit, sorry. So there we go. We've just done our 2 rows of decreasing. What we're going to do now is for row 13 and 14, it's a normal double crochet row, if that makes sense. So we're going to chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, turn our work, and you're just going to place a double crochet into each and every double crochet along, as always, for the next 2 rows. So just wrap your yarn around, go into the next double crochet, etc. and etc. and do that for the next 2 rows. So I've just done those 2 rows that were normal double crochets, and the next 4 rows, so the next 4 rows are going to be decrease rows again. So I'm just going to show you how to make that once again, just a decrease. So 1, 2 and 3. And basically, once again, I'll just zoom in a bit. Oopsie. There we go. So 2 decrease into the next stitch. So we're going to do 1 decrease at the beginning of the row and then at the end of the row again. So to decrease, you are going to wrap your yarn around your hook, go into that stitch, take your yarn, pull it through. You've got 3 loops on your hook. Just go directly into the next stitch without finishing your double crochet. Pull your yarn through. You've got 4 loops on your hook. Take your yarn, pull it through 2 loops, and take your yarn, pull it through 2 loops. And there you go. You've got your decreased stitch. And we're just going to do a double crochet until the last 3 stitches, where we will be doing again, like I've showed you in the last in the 2 before last stitches, a decrease row again, and then in the last one a double crochet as always. So I'm just going to let you get on with those rows, because if you need more help, just rewind the video and have a look at that, and I'll just carry on doing that. So just do 4 rows in total of decreasing. So I've just finished my decrease rows. I've done 4 more, like I told you, and what I'm going to do now is a single crochet row. So to begin your single crochet row, you will be chaining 1, so just chain 1, turn your work, and you are going to be placing a single crochet into each and every stitch of this row. So this counts as your first single crochet, so you're just going to go into that second stitch and place a single crochet there. So to do your single crochet, you're just going to pop your hook through directly, take your yarn, you've got 2 loops on your hook, take your yarn, pull it through, and do that until you reach the end of this row, and I'll show you what to do after. For the next row, you are going to do another row of single crochet, so just chain 1, and again turn your work and do the exact same as what we've just done, placing a single crochet into each and every stitch until the end of this row. So I've just finished this second row of single crochets. So what we're going to do now is another row, but this time of decrease single crochets. So you're just going to chain 1, which counts as a single crochet, turn your work, and to decrease you are going to be you are going to pop your hook through that second stitch, take your yarn, you've got 2 loops on your hook, go directly into that next stitch, you've got 3 loops on your hook, and just take your yarn and go through 3 loops. And then in the next one, just single crochet and just single crochet, carry on until the last 3 stitches of this row, where once again we will be placing a decreased single crochet. Go, I've reached the last 3 stitches and we're going to decrease again. So just pop your hook through, take your yarn, pull it through, you've got 2 loops on your hook, go directly into the next stitch, pull the yarn through, you've got 3 loops on your hook, pull your yarn through these 3 loops, and you've got a decreased single crochet, and into the last stitch just place a normal single crochet into that. And for the very last row of this sleeve, you are going to be doing a single crochet row, chain 1, and then just go into each and every stitch and place a single crochet into that. And then once you've done that, I'll just show you at the very end of this row what I do. So I've just finished this row of single crochets. I'm just going to snip off my yarn, so I'm just going to leave a long quite a long tail to sew my sleeve with. So as always, just to finish off, pull your yarn through that last loop like so, and it will make a knot automatically. And basically now I'm just going to show you how to sew your jumper. So I'll just show you how to sew it. So what I recommend doing is start by sewing your sleeves together. So I'm going to show you how to do that. How to sew your sleeves together. You should make 2 of these, what I've just showed you, like so. So I've got my 2 already done. There we go. I've got 2, so I'm just going to show you how to sew this sleeve. Okay, so I'm just going to start with this one actually. So you are going to be taking your tapestry needle, so just choose, so to sew in your sleeve, just choose a wrong and right side. So basically the right side is the side that you consider the nicest. So this for me is the right side. So I'm just going to switch it around and sew on the wrong side. So basically just pop your darning needle through that yarn that you've left, and what I do is I'm gonna zoom in, I'm just gonna go, this is how I sew, so I'm just gonna go back and forth from, sorry, so I'm just gonna de-zoom a bit, so I'm just gonna go back and forth from one side to the next. So just, there we go. So just pop your needle through one side and then the other side. So this is how I sew. However, you can sew in your jumper or however you want. So whichever technique you prefer. This is just my preferred technique. It's just a mattress stitch. So basically the seam is less visible once you go from one side to the other. So I hope you can see what I'm doing on camera. Basically just go into one side, pull it, and then just go into the other side. but you can do whichever technique you prefer. There we go. So just sew it, and then I'll meet you back once you've sewed both your sleeves in. So I'm just going to show you how I'm going to sew my sweatshirt. So basically, just place your sweatshirt, your jumper, face to face, so both faces, the front panel and the back panel. So I've put the back panel on the back and the front on the top, like so. And then I've got my sleeves right here. So I'm just going to place my sleeves on the side. So let's imagine I've sewed them in. So you should have sewed them in before we do this part. I've not finished mine, but I'm going to finish it. So basically, yes, and you are going to do the same with this sleeve right here. So basically, you're just going to assemble this sweatshirt. What you're going to do to sew it, so the technique that I recommend using is start by sewing in this part at the top. So again, choose a wrong side and a right side. So sew this part in right here, up to here. Then attach the sleeve and just sew the sleeve into the sweatshirt like so, on this side. Then sew the sleeve like that onto the jumper. Then carry on sewing the rest of this side, and then once you've done that side, just flip this side over and you'll have to sew the other part of the sleeve onto the back part, if that makes sense. So that will be the only thing that you'll have left to sew. And yes, do that on both sides. And then once you've sewed your jumper together, we'll be doing the edging together, and I'll be back to show you how to do that. So good luck with your sewing, and yeah, and I'll be back to show you how to do the neck edging and the bottom edging. Hi guys, I'm back. So I've finished stitching my jumper, and I'm still on the wrong side, so I've stitched my jumper together. And what we're going to do now is the neck edging and the bottom edging. So it's very easy. So I'll just jump right in. So you just need to take your yarn like so, and then I'm just going to zoom in. What you are going to be doing is attaching your yarn at the collar. So just take your hook and just go into any of those stitches. Why not a corner right here? So let's just take our yarn, pull it through, and make a double knot. I'll just tie in that loose end whilst I am crocheting. So what we're going to do, so we've tied our yarn into that stitch. Just pop your hook through that stitch, take your yarn, pull it through, and chain one. And this counts as a single crochet, and what we're going to do is single crochet into every single stitch along. So just go directly into the next stitch, grab your yarn, pull it through the 2 loops and into the next stitch, and a single crochet, and into the next stitch, and the next stitch, and the next stitch. And just carry on doing that until the end of this row, and I'll get back to you to show you what to do. So I just wanted to show you another detail. So I've just crocheted along the ridge of my front of my sweater. I've arrived at the sides here, and this is just a small part at the side of your collar before we go to the back where we will be having normal stitches. Here we only have like row ends, if that makes any sense. So I just wanted to show you, I just go and pop some single crochets slightly randomly into those sides, trying to make them as equal as possible. So just don't overthink it, just pop your single crochets in as you can, and yes, and then you get back to those here where it's easier. So I'm back where I started. So what I'm gonna do is just slip stitch into that first chain that we made. Just pull your yarn through the both stitches and you finished your edging. So I'm just going to snip off the yarn and pull it through that slip stitch like so, tighten it, and there we go, we've got our neck edging. So it's really cute and pretty. So basically the only thing we'll have left to do is to sew in that loose end. So I'll just show you how I do that. I just pop my hook back and forth into random stitches all the way around, and I'll just let you do that a couple of times until you're satisfied with your loose end, which is, there we go, snip off the yarn, and we finished the neck edging. So I'll just show you how to do the bottom edge, and it's the exact same principle. You are just going to attach your yarn. So take your yarn, so just attach it randomly in any stitch. So I'm just going to pop my hook through, take my yarn, pull it through, tie it twice. There we go. I'm gonna tie in my loose end as I work, as always, and what I'm going to do is pop my hook through and do the same thing, chain one, which counts as a single crochet, and then I'm just going to single crochet all the way along. So just go on and single crochet into each and every single stitch along, and then once you reach the end of your row, just do the exact same thing as I've just showed you, which is to slip stitch to that first chain one that we did and snip off your yarn and tie in your loose end. So yes, so this is it for this sweatshirt. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you liked it, and I love to hear about your comments, so just don't forget to write a comment if you've got any question or anything. Don't forget to check out my blog, selinaveronique.com, for the free pattern. And don't forget to subscribe. That really means the world to me. So thank you anyway for watching. I truly appreciate it. And until next week, bye-bye.